Right, hello everyone. I'm Danny Straus and welcome to Inside City Election Edition. Tonight we are live from the City Times Media Newsroom. We continue our election coverage special with a special guest to talk about statewide ballot measures. Welcome, Cal News Matters reporter Wendy Fry. How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
Good, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. So definitely want to talk about the state ballot measures. Cal Matters created a voter's guide for the election. What approach did you take for reporting based on these results?
That's right. So we do have a voter's guide. We made our best ever voter's guide in 2024. It's something I think a lot of California residents depend on us to cover these statewide ballot measures for a few different reasons. One is we have this incredible data journalist, Jeremiah, who is able to pull all the campaign finance disclosure forms and pull them all into one place where you can see how much is being raised and spent for each proposition. And another reason I think is because we really put a lot of effort into breaking down each ballot measure. I'm sure anybody who's ever gone to the polls knows that sometimes those propositions can be a little confusing. You can kind of have a question about what are you actually voting for or against. And so we put a lot of effort into making it really accessible. We even have these TikTok filters where you can ask, it'll ask you questions about how you feel about different things, and it'll tell you kind of if you're opposed or if you support a different proposition. So.
Absolutely. Prop 33 is on the ballot for the third time this time. How significant is that, and what are the impacts on it?
Well, so as they say on CNN, it's very early still, only 10% in reporting, but it does look like that is going to be failing again. You know, some of these have such a wide percentage of different, 64 to 30, not 5. They're probably not going to be overcome that percentage as these later returns come in. It's not one of the closer races. So it looks like that's going to fail a third time. That was the rent control measure, repealing the Costa-Hawkins Act that lets local governments have more control and place rent control, but voters are saying no again for a third time on that measure.
Very interesting. Last question, as a border reporter.
Yes.
How influential is this election on the border, and how will the results affect the border?
Obviously, there is a lot of anxiety tonight and over this past week leading up to this election night at the border, probably more so than there's been throughout the rest of the state of California, even for journalists too. We went through a lot in 2016 when, the border was closed down. Some of us were detained trying to cross the border for several hours at a time. And so, there's been a lot of anxiety in Tijuana and on the border for the economy of the border as well. A lot of people don't realize, how interconnected our regional, supply chains are. We're not just trading with Mexico, we're building things with Mexico in this region. And so for that to get threatened to shut down, yesterday Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Mexico unless they stop migration and stop fentanyl. And so for even that threat, at 3 a.m, there was a 3-hour line waiting to get into the United States, because even him just saying that slows the border down. And as we can all remember from 2016, that was devastating for our regional economy when that happens. So there's definitely a lot of anxiety when it comes to how the border is going to look, depending on who wins this election at a federal level.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all the information and continued work on the matter. Thanks for joining us tonight to talk about this important issue. We have a lot more on this and all the issues that matter to City College this election season. We have live updates for you on sdcitytimes.com, and be sure to follow us at sdcitytimes on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. This has been an Inside City edition. I'm Danny Straus. Thank you for watching.